Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the RantCastPodcast. I am your host, Joshua, also known as TheStrangeBus, and I am joined by our other host, Kurgan, also known as HeroQuest Fans. You can find him at twitch.tv/HeroQuest That's twitch.tv/HeroQuest Fans. Also has that wonderful YouTube channel, and it's XSC3, home of HeroQuest Fans. Kurgan, you're on whenever you're ready, if you'd like to bring off that wonderful intro that you do every time. Oh boy, I think you have two now background noise removers, so it didn't do anything.
Rickcast.
There we go.
Like I'm trying to do it, but not do it super loud so it gets blown out.
Oh. Yeah, it's like totally blown out now. I think my compressor plus RTX voice, you don't get any of it now. It's like a tradition. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope our audio's good. Like I said, we're still messing around with some new audio stuff. So please let us know if it's too low, too high, if it's blown out, not good enough. We'll tune it up for the next episode as well. Once again, welcome to episode 98 of the RantCastPodcast. We've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about a couple cool things. Some HeroQuest stuff tonight. What's up?
Wait a minute. Did I forget to post episode 98? Because I feel like this is 99.
Is it 99? See, we're off. We're off. We're off an episode again. Look at me doing that. I'm gonna have to edit it anyway. We'll get it right one day.
All right.
Anyway, I'll correct myself. Welcome to episode 99 of the RantCastPodcast. And we're gonna be talking.
Now we're talking.
We're gonna be talking some pretty cool topics. I've got some stuff on the new Resident Evil title that I did for Resident Evil Requiem that came out on my birthday. And then we have...
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And then we've got some stuff for...
Birthday.
We got a couple small celebrity news. And then some game dev news, along with HeroQuest stuff, if I didn't mention that prior. So, once again, smaller rantcast tonight, but we're going to be talking some pretty cool topics. Sit down, have a seat. Enjoy the fact that we can never get anything right, because that's now, I guess, part of the charm of this rantcast is just tripping over our own feet. Me and my dementia brain can't figure out what episode are we on again? Like, I can't.
You got dementia brain. Let me tell you something, young feller.
Yeah. Well, sit down. Have a seat on the couch.
Back in my day.
Yeah. But anyway, how you doing, buddy? How are things?
Oh man, things are all right. I think things are gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with some stuff behind the scenes, but I don't want to get into it. I'm just gonna say I'm glad to be here.
Your internet's not glad to be here.
Nope. Joe's glad to be here.
He is glad to be here. Yeah, you're coming in like Mr. Roboto, which was funny because we did a quick check and everything was fine. And now we're Domo Arigato and all over the place.
We were all fine here now. How are you?
Okay, let's try that.
Sound gurgly.
Yeah, I think it's that deep noise remover that's causing an issue, because now we're fine. I took that off the snap crackle pop's gone. But if I turn it back on, it comes back. I think it doesn't like Yeah, you sound gurgly. Yeah. It's the deep noise remover. I don't know why, but it doesn't like Kurgan. And we fixed it before we did the podcast, or started the podcast. And as soon as I hit stream for some reason, it doesn't like OBS.
I don't
So
like you either. I'm a wanted man. The death sentence in
he
12
doesn't
channels.
like you either. So I don't know. I might sound not echoey, but I might have reverb in my voice now because with all this crap. But I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna have to find another effect for that because now I'm probably all reverbery.
Just so everybody knows, episode 98 of the Rantcast podcast is live on the Rantcast podcast archive on YouTube. So check it out after you listen to this show, of course. Whether you're listening on Spotify, YouTube, hope you enjoy our
Yeah.
antics and commentary on the world of media entertainment.
So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. Just mind the kinks. Did you want to go ahead and lead us off, Kurgan, with the Power Hour?
Yes, believe it or not, there is something in the world of HeroQuest to talk about. And actually, there always is. That's the thing that I forget sometimes. I'm so used to us getting news from Avalon Hill, Hasbro, with HeroQuest. Some big expansion's coming or some, homebrew project, and then all of a sudden there's nothing. There's like nothing happening. And it's not really that there's nothing happening. It's just that it's nothing remarkable. Like, yes, people are coming out with different colors of dice and people are 3D printing stuff as always. Like, that's never changed. Like, that's been constant all these last 5 years. But we've kind of hit a news dearth from Avalon Hill. They have announced nothing for Gen Con. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really that they can even talk about. Like, we've asked Michael at Avalon Hill over and over, what's the next thing? He's like, I can't talk about it now. We're going to have to wait. So the official release date for Wizards of Morcar has finally passed. It was March 1st for most of the world. I think it was March 6th or March 16th for some countries. I think Germany is getting a little later. But I mean, in 2 weeks, the world will have it officially. But lots of people already have it. So that's official. So there's a couple of videos, a couple channels I wanted to highlight. I think you've all heard of Amalgam Ash by now. We talk about him constantly. AshQuest,
right.
Big presence on YouTube, big guy. He's riding the wave, and he's got all kinds of videos. But he did a video a couple rantcasts ago now that I was like, you know what? This is one of those videos I really should listen to and comment on, not to like steal his content, but just to show that, hey, he put out a video on a good topic, one that we hadn't covered before. So Josh, I don't know if you want to pull that up on Still Store, maybe Rocket number 9, whatever they say in Mr. Science Theater. I sent you a video link if you want to.
Yeah. Let me bring it up.
Share it. Yeah,
Oh,
so this is on YouTube.
I'm going to mute it, though.
And yeah, why don't you mute it, throw on the subtitles, just so you can see.
Ads.
So,
hold on.
Oh, ads. How are we doing? Oh, we got the guy with the headset.
Now we're back. Something happened, not on our end, because I'm playing this video just fine.
Sorry, HeroQuest man.
Yep.
Okay, we're talking about Amalgam Ash.
Did not like us playing his stuff because we died really bad. Right. Okay, well there he is in all his glory.
Yep, Amalgam Ash, the man himself. He's got his own dedicated channel, of course, AshQuest, which he started a couple years ago now, focused on HeroQuest. So we're grateful for his contributions to the community. I don't know if you want to throw on subtitles there, English, Klingon, whatever people speak. So the name of this video, this caught my eye. So I'll say check out his channel, give him a sub if you want. Rate, comment, subscribe. I don't know if you want to donate to his Patreon. I mean, that's up to you, but I'm just kidding. If you like his stuff, if you want to go for it. Anyway, the video was posted 8 days ago. It says, will we get advanced HeroQuest? And he does these kind of longer form videos, which I'm all about. I'm all about that long form goodness. So he raised a couple of points, and I think he pretty much said everything that you could say about the topic. I mean, it's not a big, huge topic, but a lot of people have been asking what's next. I mean, they put out all the expansions, all the official expansions that were released back in the day for HeroQuest. They've released new content. Yes, there's a lot of like ancillary stuff they could release, like a couple bonus quests and some magazines, some novels, but most people haven't heard of that stuff, and it's really not enough content to fill a box, you know. Yes, Hispa's Argon proved that you could turn the Dark Company into a boxed expansion. I mean, he did that homebrew thing that we showed a couple shows ago, which was pretty cool. But what about advanced HeroQuest? Not a lot of people know about this game. And so what Ash says in this video, and I encourage you to check out the whole thing, get his take on it, his words and context, not just my take on it. But my take on it is advanced HeroQuest is something I never knew existed until like the late 2000s. Like I'd heard of it and it was like, what even is this? And it has its fans out there, but it was never released outside the UK, I'm pretty sure. It was a European thing. I don't know if there was a German version, but it was definitely European only. And just like the title implies, Advanced HeroQuest, it's for maybe more advanced players, a little older players. The idea was HeroQuest is ready to go. I mean, yes, you had to clip the miniatures out of the box, you had to punch the cardboard out for the tiles and stuff. But Advanced HeroQuest, they expected you to glue the pieces together on the miniatures. They expected you to paint the stuff. I mean, it was all gray. And a lot of the stuff didn't even come in the box. Like you had henchmen, you had scavin, rat folk, but you didn't have heroes. Like you didn't have other monsters. Like the stuff was just cardboard, and like the cardboard standees would show like what the painted miniature looked like. And you were supposed to go to the Citadel, which was Games Workshop's catalog, and buy those miniatures and like import them into the game. So like the heroes you had to buy separately. The orcs and chaos warriors and all that stuff was separate, sold separately. Now the nice thing about Advanced HeroQuest is it was, yes, it was a dungeon crawler, but it had like role-playing elements, and instead of having a board, you had tiles, like dungeon tiles, and you're supposed to arrange them like randomly as you go. And so the idea was every dungeon is different. Like at that time, so 1989, it was fairly novel to offer something like that for sale in game shops. Now that's like every dungeon crawler game except for HeroQuest and the games that are trying to copy HeroQuest, pretty much. Like every game is like that. Okay, you lay the tile down, you lay the next tile down. There's a door, lay the next tile down. You know, you just keep going until okay, you get to the end where there's a bad guy you kill or there's a treasure that you find or whatever. But it had role playing elements. It had a little bit more strategic stuff. Like I'm trying to think if you had D10s or D20s that you rolled for dice, but I mean, you were also painting the miniatures. You were adding more stuff to it. One of the nice things about Advanced HeroQuest is it was taking that mindset of like you'd played HeroQuest already and you'd gotten to that stage where you're like, okay, I finished all the quests in the book. Now what? Well, you can make your own quests. Well, but also you could make your own game mechanics, right? You could start incorporating role play into it. There's like all this other stuff you could do. And so Advanced HeroQuest was assuming that you were already going to do that and have more to flesh out your world, right? And they had a whole section in the rulebook for Advanced HeroQuest saying, well, if you have the other HeroQuest game, you can take those pieces and use them in this game. And here's stats for all those characters. If you want to use the furniture, here's how you could use it. And you could play Advanced HeroQuest on the regular HeroQuest board as well. You want to turn that board into a whole, you know, maze or dungeon or town or whatever you want it to be. So it's very open-ended. It encouraged you to branch out. The idea behind your Advanced HeroQuest was this was completely a Games Workshop product. Like Milton Bradley had nothing to do with it. Stephen Baker had nothing to do with it. Now that doesn't mean that there was any kind of animosity between the two companies. Like some people, like I remember reading on the internet, people were like, "Oh yeah, Hasbro and Games Workshop had this falling out. They were like rivals. They were enemies. They hated each other." It's like that's not true. None of that is true. I don't know how that rumor got started, but people believed it. And I remember talking to Chris Nato and Carmi and various other people, and it's like, no, that's just, I don't know where that came from, but that's not how it is. I mean, the two companies now have a good working relationship. They did Talisman together recently. The new edition of Talisman is very successful. That's a Games Workshop product. So if the two companies really hated each other and were such rivals, why did they license their stuff to sell one of their top brands? from back in the day, the nostalgic brands. Now you could say Games Workshop, what are they really known for? Warhammer 40,000, right? 40K and Age of Sigmar, Warhammer Fantasy, the Old World is the new one. I guess it's not Warhammer Fantasy Battle, it's the Old World. But I mean, they sell those miniatures. But the thing about the Games Workshop products is they were always designed to get you to buy the box, and then like you could use the plastic in other games. Like you take the plastic that you gathered from that box and you could pay it forward to the next thing. So, you buy a bunch of henchmen. Okay, you've got some henchmen. Well, you could expand that into an army, and all of a sudden you've got your army for fantasy battle or battle masters or whatever it was. Like you could keep, because what they're trying to get you to do is to play the full-on war game where you've got, your 100 miniatures or whatever that you painted, and somebody else has their 100 miniatures that they painted, and you're going to the store and you're rolling all the dice and you're going, man, the new edition's out. I gotta revise my army, so you go buy another 100 miniatures. So it just keeps on spiraling out of that until you leave the hobby or whatever. But it would always start you with these boxed games.
Oh, there's your ad.
You to it. What's that?
I said, enjoy your ad.
Enjoy your ad. White vinegar. Oh man. Yeah, we do not endorse these products. Don't buy them. Sorry, Ash.
I'm gonna switch over because we don't want to. I'm not gonna leak the whole video.
No. Go check out the full context. But the point is, what Ash is talking about, he raises a lot of good points. The point is, you've got this advanced hero quest. It has some appeal, but one of the issues is Games Workshop has moved on. They have a newer product from '95 called Warhammer Quest. So it's no longer Advanced Hero Quest, it's Warhammer Quest. Same idea. It's actually more advanced and more refined. Has its own fan base. You can still buy it in stores. It's kind of expensive. It's kind of intimidating for new players. But see, Games Workshop has been doing this for the last, 10 years or something. Like you go to Barnes & Noble, you go to Target, you'll find at least one Games Workshop product. And it'll be like a small box that'll have some Space Marines in it. Or it'll have, some Scavens, some Stormcast Eternals. Like there'll just be a few characters. And the idea is you buy it, you like it, you go out and buy more miniatures. And it fulfills the same function that Advanced Hero Quest would have fulfilled, which was teasing you with the fact that you have a bigger library. So if they have Warhammer Quest, why would they ever go back to Advanced Hero Quest? Well, because of nostalgia. He's right about that. I agree with him there. Is the licensing thing a problem? I disagree, because Talisman was a big hit. So if you have a nostalgic product that some people want, that you could license, and just because it has the name, why is that a big deal? At the same time, would Games Workshop really need Avalon Hill to do this? No. They could just release a Warhammer Quest, Nostalgia Edition or something, and you would see right away that it's a throwback and it's Advanced Hero Quest without calling it Advanced Hero Quest. Now, if they did a collaboration with Avalon Hill, they could actually use the full name Advanced Hero Quest, like Anniversary Edition or whatever they want to call it, Collector's Edition, and it wouldn't have to be a carbon copy of the original, because that's the other criticism. The criticism is it was a tease box starter set. Well, they could just make it a self-contained product. They could make it almost like the crowd-funded HeroQuest was. They could pack it up. They could give you the heroes in the box. They could give you all the plastic miniatures, not just a few of them, and then you buy the rest from the cardboard. So they could do that. Now, if it was a Games Workshop product, would it have to be like a limited edition? That's sort of the criticism of Games Workshop, is they make their stuff limited run. Once it's gone, and that pisses people off. And Avalon Hill pissed people off when they did that with the Guardian Knight, when they did that with certain things in the crowdfund. So that might be a legit concern. There's also this idea that there aren't enough people who remember Advanced Hero Quest who would want that obscure variation. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a good example on something else. It's not like, it's like maybe people who really like the 1997 Star Wars special editions, but they don't like the other special editions, and they like it better than the original. So it's like you have to find, like, let's re-release just that version. that people want from that specific year. I don't know if that's a good analogy. Maybe it isn't. But Advanced Hero Quest is really its own game. Just because it has the name, it has Hero Quest in the title. Other than it being set in the Warhammer world and it kind of vaguely having a dungeon crawl to it, it's completely different. So I guess I feel like this is one of those things where, as Doug Hopkins often says, if people want it and people are loud enough online and actually get their dollars ready, like Hasbro and Games Workshop are not going to pass it up.
A lot of the comments are kind of going with you on that.
Yeah.
Also, just letting you know, he did podcast, and I guess he stopped. Somebody asked if he was doing a podcast or something, and he said older episodes are available everywhere, but he stopped it because it costs money and they're not popular enough to return on the investment. Okay. What does he do with his podcast that costs money?
I don't know.
Everything that I see on his podcast is just him in front of a mic. I mean, I'm really just curious. I'm not trying to one-up him here, because everything we do on our podcast is the same thing. It's just in front of, like, I mean, it's probably better equipment, but like at the same time, what are you doing that requires more money than what you're doing now? Because that's a
good question.
I was reading the comments from to see like where his audience stood on the matter. And that popped out, and I was like, "Wait, you did a podcast?" I've been following him for like ever, and then when he moved, everything went over my head. So, but yeah,
the podcast. I've been I think I've joined in a couple of times. I mean, not as a guest, but just in the chat. He would have like little guys jumping around, if I remember correctly, little guys jumping around on the screen that would have people's names, and he'd play isometric hero quest. He'd talk about various things, but yeah, it was mostly
a time investment.
Him talking, yeah, maybe a time investment, because I would think he's just like us in the sense that, like, okay, he wants to afford a better microphone, so he gets the funds to buy a microphone. He wants a better camera, buys a better camera. He wants a comfy chair. Like, what are the other expenses? I don't know. Electricity to run the, better lighting,
I suppose.
Well, he does have a gaming budget. I know that. I mean, all those vintage games that he's showed off, I mean, he has quite a collection. So he would buy those. I mean, those aren't exactly cheap. But yeah, just to run a specific, I mean, he has patrons, but it's like, you would think, okay, people donate thinking like, okay, hey, you're going to do a show because I gave you this donation, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's like, if not enough people pledge, I don't know. I don't want to speculate because I'm not sure how he does it. I haven't watched it in a while, so I could be missing a lot of important details.
Speculate. Come on.
Speculate. Joe says, I watched the first couple Blowcasts, but haven't watched any of his content in quite a while. Well, the other thing is, I mean, everybody knows this. As a content creator, you get it into your head, man, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do it forever. And then after a while, you're like, I hate doing this, or it's not as good as I thought, or it's not as popular, You just, you get tired of doing it. You get
run by the algorithm. Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is your least popular. You need to do something else. It's like, oh,
where your hobby becomes your job, and it starts becoming, you start hating it. I feel like it's one of those things. It's I don't know. It's like one of those things. Like, that's why I don't want to be paid to do it, because it's not as cool as it used to be, I guess.
Yeah, everybody wants to be able to just take a hobby and turn it into a job, and then you're not really working, you're just having fun. But that's a
plus I guess if the idea, because a lot of people are like, well, I get to do what I want, I get to be creative, and I hear that all the time, but really I feel like it's an excuse for like, I get to sit on my ass and play video games, or I get to sit on my ass and do this and be my own boss. So, and I'm kind of at a job where, unless we're really, really busy, I don't really do very much. and I get paid a decent amount of money. I get to manage my time correctly as long as I'm responsible.
Well,
So
it makes a certain amount of sense that a company would do that because it's like they trust you to be there. Like
mhm.
some people are not trustworthy, so they choose you over those people just as a most basic level. But
Yeah,
yeah, there's other stuff too. But yeah, exactly. Having just someone who's reliable, and I guess that's where it comes in. Like I can't quite imagine what it'd be like to do something like what Ash does if he has those patrons or Patreons, whatever you call them. Like people giving you money saying like, "Hey, I want this, I want that," or maybe they're not dictating what you do, but you still are feeling like, well, these people are counting on me, right? So I got to put out a certain level of quality, otherwise I'm letting them down. That's
right.
going to pop into your mind naturally, even if you're not doing it in a strictly transactional, like you give me money and I give you show, like that kind of thing. So I don't know how he's got it going, but that puts a certain amount of pressure on a person. And maybe some days you're not feeling it. Well, you don't have that option because these people are counting on you. I mean,
Yeah,
I run ads on HeroQuest fans, but it's like, it's not so much money that, I'm going to be put out if I don't do it. Now, at the same time, I feel bad that I've had to cancel some of my shows and I had somebody subscribe and it's like, okay, I'm thinking if that person subscribed, they're probably like, okay, I want more show. And it's like, if I'm gone for a month, it's like, oh, that sucks. Why did you subscribe? You got ad free for nothing. So I kind of feel bad about that. But I mean, my show is pretty regular and I bring it back and I try to keep people informed like, hey, we're on vacation until this date. We're coming back on this date. Uh, that's how it is. So, but yeah, it does complicate matters when you're doing stuff uh, with money involved. It's not just a purely fun hobby thing. I mean, I guess you could say like we're trying to influence people, maybe. I mean, I'm mostly just having fun here. I'm just sharing my opinion or reacting to other people's opinions.
right.
But we're not. I mean, on the Rantcast podcast, we're not. I mean, yeah, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, but we're not running ads. We're not affiliate, even though we could be at this point. Thanks to all of you. So, but I mean, it's just bragging rights. It's nothing else.
Yeah, we're just here for the people.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah,
not to say somebody like Ash isn't. I mean, but he just has different concerns for what he's doing. So I'd say, yeah, if you like him, if you support him, go support him
I recommend
as much
him.
as you can. Yeah, I like
And
his takes on stuff. Occasionally I'll disagree with him, but a lot of the time he pretty
well,
much nails it.
you can't be fully on board with everybody. But
No,
at the end of the
and
day,
that's not necessary. It's like, oh, I disagreed with him on two things. Like, get him out of
we
here.
interviewed him a couple years back, and like I said, he was really nice. He handled everything really well, and
Oh yeah.
we're not like the end all be all. And it was really bad because I was really looking forward to interviewing him, and I was sick.
Oh yeah.
So I remember that because I
Yeah.
like flopped that entire time because I wasn't prepared. Didn't do anything for prep. But I mean, I guess that's how it is anymore.
I remember having him on my show, and I broke my headphones like right before I got on. My headphones slipped off my head because I was trying to adjust something, and I stepped on them and broke them. So like I quickly taped them back together when I was talking to him. Of course, I don't even remember if I told him or not, but it was just like, oh man. I wasn't nervous. I was just like a klutz. So yeah. Anyway, but he was a good sport about it. And I think at the time, like we were both pretty small. All of us were pretty small. Now he's blowing past us as far as views and everything. A little jealous, not much. No. But I mean, he's carved out his niche. It's cool. It's getting more people talking about stuff I like, and
We're
it's
calling him
it's
out.
good.
Steel
Calling him out.
cage.
Steel cage match. Yep. I would love to do another collab or get him on our show, but just his stuff is all mornings. Like his schedule's
Yeah,
all mornings, and ours
we're
is
really at the end
late.
of the day
late.
we are so small time anymore. It's I
Yeah. I kind of like having a smaller community though. It's easier to manage. But I've noticed the HeroQuest fans Discord has grown and grown and grown, and we're getting like weird spam stuff happening, and we're getting like bots and people
Oh,
doing weird stuff. So yeah, it's starting to get like, oh shoot, we got to become a community. We got to get more moderators.
I
I
gotta
don't like
start
it.
hopping back in because I know I'm a mod there. I need to hop in and check every once in a while. I haven't
Yeah.
done my due diligence.
What I see is, well, people keep reminding us because somebody will join, and the first thing they'll do is they'll at everyone, and someone will go, hey, turn off your at everyone for regular members. It's like, I just did. It's like, oh, there was an update. They reset it. It's like, okay, so I got to go back in, change everybody's permissions to get rid of it because people get really mad. They're like, how dare you at everyone? Stop it. It's like one of those faux pas. It's like typing in all caps back in the 90s. People got really mad. It's like, you're shouting. Stop shouting. I'm not
I
deaf.
don't know why it's such a bad thing. Because like, if you
Oh,
want everybody to know about something, don't you do that though?
yeah. But I guess it's like, I don't know, people are lurking or they don't want to hear it. But I mean, there is the notification, like sound effect goes Walmart, like to tell you that there's a message. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had that off. I've been using streamer mode for almost like 99% of the time, so I never hear that stuff.
And most of the
So
time,
if I
if you want people in your
Mhm.
Discord, a lot of
Notification,
people mute stuff, don't they? They just mute
yeah,
half
you
the
can,
rooms. Like I keep half my rooms muted. I go in manually to check my messages.
yeah, I
So
do too.
I mean, at
And
the end
half
of
the
the day,
time it's
what the
like
fuck does at everyone? How does that bother people? I've been
yeah,
told that too.
well, then
Like,
it's a faux pas. Don't do it.
how how the hell am I gonna get your attention or anybody's attention in the room? At this point, I'll just DM, just add me on Discord. I'll just DM you. Like I don't get the weird. It's like a weird formality.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
a manners.
yeah.
Yep.
Just letting you know, if you join our Discord and there's a stream notification, you're getting at everyone because like that's what's gonna happen. I don't have a bot for that anymore. I It used to be really
Oh,
annoying. I'm just at everyone. Hey, the stream's on. Like that's
I
it.
mean, moderators, yeah, moderators and owners in a Discord can do that. But the point is, like, it was available to everyone, and most people don't do it because, yeah, they have that weird hang up of, oh, you don't do that, that's rude. But someone will join and they'll add everyone and say, hey, I got a question, and everyone's like, stop it, turn it
Oh.
off, turn it off. Yeah, but I'll get these people that'll come in and. I don't know if it's the same guy or if it's just a trend, but it's always like, oh man, I'm this down on my luck artist and I make logos and little like animation figure, and it's always like the same like part animal, part human, like anime characters, and they're like, hey, I want to do some commissions for you. Here's some samples of my work, and I look at it
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I've seen that shit.
this is this is not
Starving
anything that I would ever
artists,
use. Yeah,
bots. Yeah.
times are tough. Hey, can you help me out? And
Um,
it's like some of the stuff could have been hand drawn, some of it could be AI, but it's just like it's nothing. They're just oh, he's talking about Napoleon Dynamite's the
yeah.
Ligers.
R- Real
Yeah,
quick, Joe did make a good comment.
there you
He was
go. Okay.
saying that he found it annoying with all the begging to join this or that Patreon, especially from the content creators that decided to make it their full time job. I find that to be a double edged sword, Joe, because I think I said this, I think it was last Rantcast. I don't believe that YouTube should be the end of your career. There was a point in time that YouTube did like YouTube's always kind of had the content creator program, but there was a point in time when they paid you a little amount, and then people either get picked up by either a talent agency or they go out and they use their skills to do other things, or they get noticed by the community, they get another job, they would get um, they would move on, and you'd find them somewhere else. A lot of the times now, the smaller creators stay on YouTube, and because of the algorithm crap, all that new stuff, um, they have they can't make as much income, so they go from YouTube to Twitch, and then they have the Patreon thing. So they kind of have to branch out and
Yeah.
shill and be like, my Patreon's got tiers and donations and blah blah blah, and that's why I've just decided that, like, while this is a great outlet, can be a great outlet for income, if we ever do get a following, I do not want to give people the opportunity to donate unless they in their minds can do it. Because mentioning that stuff, it is part of the job. Like, they do that because it encourages people to donate. And even if you say, hey, even if it, like, because I used to do this too, I used to be like, even if it's just $1, right, that helps. And it does, because it'll go towards like with my stream, it used to go towards things like just the mic and the stuff around the stream. I wasn't making a personal profit. I have enough money. I take care of myself. The big thing though is that my Patreon is not linked to this, but not my job to support their choice. No, and like I said, Joe, I agree with you. The reason I say it's a double-edged sword is because, YouTube used to be a thing where it was free to promote entertainment because you were pushing something creative out there for yourself. I used to do, in my teens, I used to do like a little Star Wars thing where I'd take mods from like Jedi Academy and I'd make movies out of it. And then I'd put music in the backing track. I would edit, and that's how kind of like a machinima. It's how I learned how to do video editing. It's how I learned how to make movies. It's how I learned how to do modding. A lot of my big mods back in the day. It's how I crafted those skills, and I did them a lot by myself. And then YouTube was my outlet. I did music videos, I did all sorts of that stuff, and then the copyright law fucking kicked our asses. So, I mean, yes, and then there's a lot of content locked behind paywalls and stuff like that. And once again, when you put things in the hands of the creators can decide how much you want to pay, which, once again, is a double-edged sword because it's not regulated by a government or anything like that. But a big corporate entity decides, hey, since you're making money, you can decide. And I feel like that's kind of a weird thing because we're going backwards in time. Things used to be free. Things that were delegated free were free. And now they cost money. The simplest thing, everything is worth $1 to somebody, right? If you, like, I made this. It's worth $1. But really, it's not. Like, this is not worth it. I'm just saying, like, I could draw a stick figure on a piece of paper and start selling it as art. I mean, humans objectify everything, like down to the littlest like piece of shit, and like we will charge you money for everything, and we can't expect people to have a moral compass on what we charge for money. So I get it. I really do, and that's why I said here. Like, if we get really, really big, we might put donations out there for people who want to donate, and we get them a T-shirt. You'll get something for it. But I don't ever think that we'll get ever really big. Like, I agree with Kurgan. I like our small following. I'm too busy to be a full-time creator anyway. And thanks, Joe. But yeah, like I don't ever ask for money just because I've always felt that was backwards. I want you to donate to me so I can do my job. And like, while I get it, nowadays people can do that. I've never found it to be a agreeable or moral choice on my standing. So I've always tried to say that if you're going to donate to me, you do it of your own volition. I'm not going to e-beg, and I'm also not going to tell people that they're not going to get anything for it. So if you donate to me and I'm streaming, the least that it's going to happen is it's going to improve the quality of streams that you're going to be getting. So, or you're going to get a T-shirt or something.
Joe will donate for a T-shirt. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like, if we were being really mercenary about it, be like, oh, okay, well, how much are you going to donate? Well, that's not enough. That's not enough. Don't you know how much those T-shirts cost? Like, and we keep jacking it up, and guilt tripping you until you gave us the exact amount of the T-shirt. It's like, no, it's not like that. I mean,
No,
that'd
usually
be crazy.
Patreon has tiers, though, man. Like you can donate as little as $1, and
Yeah,
um,
it's a lot of dollars to collect.
I think when I had it, it was I think set as low as that. But like I said,
So
I don't.
we're just the guy on the corner who's playing his guitar and he's got the little tin cup. But it's like we don't. This is not like anything helps, down on
But
his luck
our
stream.
tin cup is behind us. It's not in front of us.
Right, right. And we're like, when we're done playing the guitar, we get in the car and we drive off. It's like, what, you thought I was homeless? No, I got a regular job. Like, this is just for fun.
We just like to play
Like,
music.
I'm just gonna play the guitar, and if it sucks and you don't like it, then fine. I mean, the tin cup is not to feed my family. It's just for fun.
That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, we wouldn't ask you to pay for this anyway. We can't get our shit together right now if we tried. We're so fucking off kilter this year and last year.
Yeah. Well, you got stuff going on. I got stuff going on. We're not going to get into that. It's just, just regular guys kicking it.
Anyway, are we good for the next topic, or we have any more?
Actually, we got 15
HeroQuest?
more minutes. Normally, we're done early. Woo! There is a second channel that I want you to check out. One that has not gotten enough attention. Occasionally shows up in the recommendations, and it's called Nomia's Tiny Adventures. And I sent you the link. Want to share it?
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this quirky stop motion painted, goofy channel? Well, finally we get to meet the titular streamer, video maker, video creator. It's not streaming because stop motion, you got to do all that work yourself. Anyway, the Nomia person has done this stop motion HeroQuest, and she put up a video where she basically just shows her setup, which is kind of cool. So they got the little screens and the little lighting effects, and it's shot on a pool table, which I think is great. And definitely check it out. Yeah, check it out. It's very like quirky and goofy and funny and over the top, and it takes a lot of work. Like, you could do this so much easier with.
Does she do that in this video?
She shows how her process basically of doing the stop motion, but there's lots of other videos of it's basically just like imagining a HeroQuest.
She uses her phone,
talking and stuff.
Whoa.
Well, I haven't actually watched it end to end, but I was just like, wow. Oh yeah, she's got it on a little stand. Yep. So it's very like low budget in a sense.
That's not bad.
She's got like a studio and everything, which is pretty sweet. But I mean, yeah, what it shows is that, you can do these labors of love with your content, and you're doing something fairly original. I mean, I think there's been some other stop motion HeroQuest, but I mean, 776 subscribers, it's not nothing. She's coming in from, let's see, channel started, as if we can all compare, but 2010.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. And let's see, content-wise, oldest videos only a year ago. And I know some people reinvent themselves. They delete or hide their videos and they start over, but yeah, all these stop motion videos started a year ago. So there's a whole like group of videos you can watch, and yeah, they obviously took a lot of time. Like, if you've ever tried to do stop motion, I think a lot of us as kids tried to do it with, our action figures. You stop the camera, take another frame, tell a story, add some sound and everything, and it's just like, wow, this takes forever. And so then, you give up. You don't keep doing it. But the HeroQuest pieces have no articulation. Unless you're talking like the classic ogres. And so
it's still pretty cool.
Give them their own character. Yeah, check out some of the videos. They're pretty fun. There's little sound effects. It's very comical. And she has this persona as well when she appears in her videos. She's joking around. It's fun.
Cool. What's the channel name here?
It's called Nomia,
Nomia.
GHnomia, Nomia's Tiny Adventures.
We'll put it in the recommendations when we do the archive and stuff too. But yeah, let's go ahead and give the underdog a recommendation. I mean, she's got more subscribers than us, but I mean that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Nomia's Tiny Adventures.
Yep.
Adventures. All right, cool. Yeah, a lot of people are enjoying this on her stuff. Yeah, looks like she's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might check her out a little bit myself.
Local content creator. All right. So for now, that's all I got for HeroQuest. I mean, Always Bored, Never Boring did a video. He's done several like deep dives on the latest HeroQuest expansions. Basically just him going through like all the spoilers and going, here's what I thought of it, or here's how this quest probably is going to go, that kind of thing. I don't know. You can check that out if you want to. I'm more about like, I'd rather just play it because yeah, we can talk about it and what we think is going to happen, but ultimately I just want to run the adventure and I'm going to modify it as I go anyway. So whether it's too hard or too easy, I guess for you Zargons out there, if you want to kind of get a preview, like maybe you're thinking of buying it and you're like, okay, well, I want some ideas. What are some things to watch out for? Always Bored, Never Boring. Check him out.
Awesome.
And he's kind of from the old school as far as HeroQuest influencers go. I mean, pretty early on, he was getting like some exclusives. And so it was like, okay, yeah. I mean, basically his videos convinced me to buy Space Crusade. It was like, he really showed what the game was like. And it's like, yeah, that sounds like something I want. So it's a good thing. On my channel, I've started sharing some of Hispa Zargon's Dark Company playtests on HeroQuest fans on YouTube, XSC3 Home of HeroQuest fans. You can check those out. But honestly, that's nothing new because Hispa Zargon has his own YouTube channel. So check out Hispa Zargon on YouTube, and he has the full like archive of the Dark Company playtests. So he took the Dark Company that Hasbro created back in the day, and he revised it. So it's basically 4 separate quests in a sequence. He tweaked the rules because it was originally designed for Europe, and he tweaked it to be compatible with the North American rules. And we ran the playtests, and they kind of ran long, but you'll hear like some of his narration, and he'll say, well, here's what I wanted for this quest, and I want you guys to try really hard, try to survive it, and so I can see, is it too hard, too easy? And you see us run into some issues sometimes, but it was pretty smooth, pretty challenging. But he's got those videos on his own channel, so I just have kind of the rough versions, whereas his are kind of cleaned up a little bit, a little better presentation. So if you want to check out his instead of mine, totally fine. I'm not sure if I'm going to repost all of them just as a backup, but I do have them because originally that's where they were recorded and shared. It's just that they weren't public because it wasn't time. He didn't want to put out the product yet. I mean, it's a fan-made thing. And so it was kept private for a long time. But anyway, yeah, Hispa Zargon's Dark Company playtest, if you look that up. And HeroQuest fans will return. The plan is this weekend we're going to finish up, probably, against the Ogre Horde on Friday.
You're going to be here this weekend, right?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Next weekend, on the 13th, I'm going to be gone. On the 20th, I'm going to be gone, or busy. 27th, I should be back. Yeah, my schedule has been complete chaos. But we plan to do some questing, and on Saturday, the question is, will we start a new quest? And if so, what will it be?
So maybe we're going to be here next week, but not the next 2 weeks, right?
The RantCastPodcast?
No, for HeroQuest fans.
HeroQuest fans, this weekend.
Uh-huh.
Not next weekend or the weekend after that, but then the final weekend of March, we'll be back. Yeah, so March 6th and 7th should be on the table, and 27th, 28th should be on the table.
Okay.
But I have noticed I mean, as long as my schedule is what it is, I mean, I have Friday and Saturday off. That's my weekend. So a lot of people don't come on Friday because they're still working, right? Work schedule. But because it's an earlier time in the day, a lot of European players can actually make it because of the time difference. And then on Saturday, it's late in the evening. People's weekends are just getting started. I got to wrap up. I can't stay up all night, but we do get a different turnout of people, so it's good. And we get some regulars that show up whenever they can, and we appreciate you. So sorry we've had to take some time off, but yeah, it's been. We finished Jungles of Delthrak, and it was awesome. I recommend it. It's a good expansion. I'm not sure if I like it more than Rise of the Dread Moon. I think Rise of the Dread Moon was more special to me as far as an experience, but Jungles of Delthrak is pretty good, especially if you're wanting Zargon to have more to do. I think I've said that before. They give you a lot to do. You're constantly having to like learn all these advanced rules. Like there isn't much time to improvise. And maybe you don't like that because a lot of times Zargon will want to just like come up with something new to like add it. But they do give you a lot to work with. So that can inspire you to kind of add your own things. Whereas Rise of the Dread Moon was more like there were just like little gaps. Like here's a little gap. You want to elaborate some more? Go for it. You want to improvise a little bit here? Go for it. And then they give you the next scenario. It's like, okay, there's a little thing that you could maybe add a little bit more of your creativity to it if you want. Whereas Jungles of Delthrak, they're like, do this, then do this, and then do this, and then do this. You're like, there's never a dull moment. You're constantly, working these new mechanics. So you can never say, oh man, I'm so bored. Nothing to do here. Yeah. But against the Ogre Horde, we're on the final quest. We're partway through, and we're probably going to finish. I mean, unless we get to bantering, but we'll push forward. And so the real question is, what do we do next? Do we start Wizards of Morcar? I know when First Light was new. See, the problem is every time something's new, people want to do that. So First Light comes out, everybody wants to do First Light. Wizards of Morcar comes out, everybody wants to do that one. I was wanting to do Spirit Queen's Torment and Prophecy of Telor, and I thought those would go fairly quickly, but people have been voting for Wizards of Morcar, so maybe we'll just do that one. And I think if we did that, that'd probably be the Friday quest. But the real question is, what do we do on Saturday? Well, we could do First Light. Why not? So I think I'm kind of saying it here. So I'm going back on what I said before, which was Spirit Queen and Prophecy. Now, if we were doing every other week, we could really confuse people and do like every other week we would do a quest. But I don't know. I kind of want some consistency because people show up and they're expecting something and it's like, oh, it's something completely different. Shoot. Or, oh, this was the week that we weren't doing it. Dang it. But I think people who have joined HeroQuest fans know that when you show up, we're just going to say, hey, here's some available characters. Which one do you want? We'll just plug you into the quest, even if, you're not coming back or you're not coming back for several weeks, right? This is your time. Come on in. Let's play. Have a good time. And don't worry about it. You're not committed to the entire campaign, right? You don't have to show up week after week unless you want to. You're welcome. Join us.
I mean, it is still good to be consistent, but
yeah, we try. But what I'm doing is I'm facilitating the game space. Like I'm providing the environment where people can jump in. Like I'm handling Zargon, so I'm doing all the heavy lifting. It's really easy. Now, as I've said before, people like Ajax running their own quests, and the fact that we've been on kind of a hiatus has really helped those guys because they've gotten a chance to kind of get their foot in the door and say, hey, there are alternatives. You don't like how I run things at HeroQuest fans, or you want something a little different, there's other options. You want to play, Ajax uses Foundry, I believe, so it's all digital, and yeah, you're not looking at the classic board, but you can move the character yourself. Similar to Tabletop Simulator way back in the day when StrangeBus and I did that. Like you have a little more control. People like that. So there's other ways to play HeroQuest remotely if you want.
Indeed.
Yep. All right. 55 minutes. I got pretty close.
Well, in that case, I'll take our 5-minute break. We'll be right back.
Podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Don't go away.
Right. Podcast.
Switch this back over. Welcome back, everybody. All right. Sorry, I took a little extra longer than I needed to. I had to run a couple errands. Like take the trash out and tell my baby goodnight. My 2-year-old. We get resituated here. Kurgan, are you back with us?
Just.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. I got my coffee. R.I.P. to the Yoda Best Dad cup that fell off my truck, or the truck.
Oh.
So I've got my because everybody has one of these cups. The number one dad.
You're still my number one guy.
Okay, there, Jack Nicholson.
As you can see, I'm a lot happier.
All right. I still like him in Cuckoo's Nest. It's like one of my favorite roles for him.
Oh yeah. Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Before we get into that one, okay, we got a couple of small topics to go to. Before I get into that, did you hear? I mean, it's officially been debunked, right? But did you hear about that Jim Carrey debacle?
Jim Carrey. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
So, hold on, let me bring this up.
Well, alrighty then. Let me tell you something.
There was a conspiracy going around, which, by the way, this just shows how out of touch people are right now. So there was a conspiracy theory fueled by a guy called Alexis Stone or something. I've just pulled up something from USA Today, which is not really great, but this is all over the place. So, like, this is everywhere. Oh my god, what did I just click on? Oh no.
Oh, clicked on it.
Now I'm hacked. Okay, so as you can tell by the face. Oh wait, hold on. Joe said, my daughter got me a match set of Vader mugs. The big one said, I am your father. And the small one said, your powers are weak, old man. Yeah! That's good. I like that one.
Coffee's weak, old man.
How he got replaced, like, with Biden. Yeah, so people are saying that he got mega replaced.
Come on, man.
So well, people are seeing him. Jim Carrey's kind of like an activist. Well, he's come out saying a lot of weird shit about Hollywood. Is he real? Hey, Watercon. But he showed up at this French. It was like a French award ceremony. Now, please feel free to. Get in mind, now I'm only using this article for images, but get in the state of mind that Jim Carrey's now in like 61, 62 years old. He's now in his elderly stages. So every year you stay alive, I think, getting into this stage, depending on the person, of course, right? You age. You start aging. You look a little older every year, I feel. It's not super, super duper pretty. I mean, at this point,
other times catching up with you.
Well, that and actors are never going to look their natural selves. I've never believed this. There's very little people in Hollywood, like, besides Danny DeVito or there's a couple of actors I could probably name if I really thought about it, but even they get some work done to look good before they go to work, and then they even have to still put makeup on and all that stuff afterwards. But like, that will just not do actual work on themselves, like dye their hair or do all the other crap. And I think Jim Carrey's kind of got on a long time. He's probably dyed his hair. He's probably done like the natural stuff, but like, because he's people usually gray out or lose their hair around this time, and um, yeah, he showed up at this award ceremony. He looked a little different. People said it was like the eyes, the forehead, a little bit of the nose, um, and you really could tell in the interview. He looked a little standoffish, but it just looks like he got a bad, like, Botox job.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a little out of character for him. I mean, my personal opinion on him as a person doesn't matter because I only care about him as an actor. He's done a great job as an actor. But I feel like a lot of his other shit, like his personal beliefs, I think are kind of hypocritical. So, because like he's gone through a lot of personal shit of his own, and like I don't know, like, so he's kind of, like I said, the main part about this is he has he's a big Hollywood hater. He's come out and said some shit about Hollywood and the elite and stuff during like the Oscars and whatnot. And some people think he got replaced. Well,
Will the real Jim Carrey please stand up?
Alexis Stone, it's a drag artist, Alexis Stone, added fuel to the conspiracy. According to this article, they claimed in a now viral Instagram post that he impersonated the actor. He showed up he put 2 posts on the Instagram. Put like 2 photos of Jim Carrey at the event. Said that was him with a mask on, and then posted he posted Getty Images photos of Carrey, and then an unverified photo of a prosthetic face, fake teeth, wig, and makeup on a desk in view of the Eiffel Tower. But the prosthetic image was flagged as digitally altered by an AI image detector. And of course you could blatantly tell that was fucking AI. By the way, if you look this stuff up, you could tell. So let me see if it'll let me view the gallery and show, because a lot of this stuff, even if he did have this fucking mask on, the expressions that Carrey makes are still there. You could just tell the nose. It's the nose, the forehead, and his eyes. They're swollen. They're really bad. So at certain angles, you could tell it's still him. He just, yeah, he got a bad job, like Botox job before.
Dang.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
Before he showed up. Which once again,
is the Botox reversible, or it is?
No, I think what happened is when you get those things, it goes down eventually. That swelling goes down, and you look better. Like you're probably gonna look. He's supposed to look more like natural. Like I think like this. I mean, like this still looks a little unnatural. But it's supposed to get rid of the wrinkles, like because I'm guessing he got it up here, around here, the cheekbones and the eyes, to help get rid of his like crow's feet and stuff. Because if you saw him like Sonic and stuff, like the newer ones, he looks really old. He's got like crow's feet and stuff. He's showing his age now. Like when he was in his mid to late 50s, he still looked pretty good. Like he looked old, but like he didn't look like like he wasn't like aging super super bad. You could tell. But like I'm thinking he's starting to get more sagging skin. He's starting to feel self-conscious or something. I mean, this just draws attention to it. But at the same time, once again, he's also getting into his 60s. Yeah. Kelly Osbourne's another one. Yeah. Hey, Malwick. What's up?
Metaphorically speaking.
Yeah. Well, it's as if he's mortal. Well, yeah, but like, and that's why I say it was like, to me, it seems a little out of place and hypocritical because he's dogged on this shit. But at the same time, he's also a human being, and he's also in his 60s. So,
he finally succumbed to vanity.
Well, that or the fact that I'm in the wrong stream intro. Sorry, I'm posting my name and everything. I need to separate these.
I keep them
But
separated.
that's right.
Audio jungled.
Sorry,
Episode
it's
99.
another thing. Still a thing I've gotta fix too. So if you notice that my stream screens are out of order, I've got 2 buttons lined up and I hit the wrong button. So that's why I've done it the last 3 episodes.
Even Jim Carrey isn't Jim Carrey anymore.
He's still Jim Carrey. He's just old. He's really fucking old now.
Old Jim.
But you can tell he dyed his hair. He's letting his hair grow out, and he's using Botox. So wonderful.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't care. It's just a bad Botox. Everybody in Hollywood, a lot of people in Hollywood do this shit now, especially as they get older. They try to cover up they have money, so they try to cover up their age a little bit more. I mean, it's really not that bad. A lot of them do a lot more than this. So
yeah,
but yeah, as he's talking,
it's when they screw up, that's what you notice.
Well, yeah, this was not a good Botox job. Yeah, when he's talking, you can definitely tell it's bad. Because yeah, he talks and it looks so unnatural. Like this is probably the best picture he has, right here. Like that's a good picture. Like and it's not even like a smiling picture. It's just it's whatever it is. But like the rest of these look pretty. Yeah, a lot of these look pretty weird. So
yeah, nobody had the heart to tell him like, it's gonna be the best idea.
It's whatever it is,
Yeah. Still respect for his career, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have done it. Like I don't think I wouldn't have done it. If I was in his exact situation, would I have done it? I don't know.
Oh, if I had millions of dollars and I'm starting to look decrepit, I'd probably do it.
Let's give it a try. No, it's bad. You know what?
Oh, for real? They're finally selling that robotic rhino that Jim Carrey crawled out of. That's nice. Yeah.
Adam Savage did it.
But the big thing here was that it was described as he was a clone, in which somebody picked that up and tried to roll with it. Which shame on you, by the way.
I mean, come on.
Alexis
how many
Stone.
Celebrities?
Like
how many celebrities have gotten plastic surgery? It's
like how fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous.
So that means they cloned him 60 years ago. That accelerated aging thing isn't actually true. Like it's not like the Clone Wars where they can just have 1 million units ready in 10 years.
Plastic rhino bumhole surgery. That's gonna be the next title to the Rantcast.
Yep.
That would have been a better title than what I have. Now up, I didn't start asking you for title suggestions.
Yo. We don't need AI to generate the title. We can just get Malweb. Thanks,
Perfect.
Buddy. Got him.
But yeah, I think that really, if you want to get it done, whatever, that's on you. It's just the fact that nobody in their right mind looked at that and said, bad botch job, or a botch job with, like, Botox. They went to, oh my God. Jim Carrey's like our advocator against Hollywood. They replaced him.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Wouldn't it freak you out though if someone could do an AI video so easily where it's like it shows him at the award show and then behind the curtain the real quote unquote Jim Carrey walks out and he's like, alrighty then, and it's just from his younger version.
That would be even more ridiculous.
Yep.
But then there would be 2 Carries. Which one would be the real one?
Yeah. Didn't they do that was it on SNL where they had like all the Jim Carreys from like all of his career? Like
oh yeah, and like somebody tried to compare him. Somebody like tried to make the proof and they were like, this isn't him. And they like put a photo of him from like 2006 and then a photo of him at the award ceremony. He was like, dude, that's a 20-year difference. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, they've done that with other celebrities. It's like they put them side by side and go, oh, look, his nose is shaped differently. Well, it's like, okay, but if he's a clone, he's going to look the same. If he's had plastic surgery.
If you're going to do that, at least put them side by side with them at the same age. Like you at 20 and you now, you're going to look different.
Exactly.
Like with or without Botox. Well, he is
Yeah,
at least getting
natural.
old. Kelly Osbourne is young, but now looks like a zombie. What? Hold on. I haven't seen what she looks like right now.
All right,
Hold on.
everybody's looking up Kelly Osbourne today. Okay,
Let's see.
that's a picture. Oh my gosh.
What she look like? She doesn't look bad. Oh, I saw the before picture.
Dude, okay.
Oh my god.
I feel bad now.
Oh my god.
He looks sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? The flesh has an expiration date.
We as biologic. Why do I feel like he's Pinhead telling me this? No more tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering. Biological organisms change. We bloat, contact, sag. It's part of life.
Oh my god, look at this. Oh. Jesus.
Listen, people do. Yeah, no proof, but I would.
I feel like she's trying to she's gone through multiple stages of grief and like trying to copy other celebrities. So she went through like a fucking Katy Perry, like
some of these celebrities they look like they're sick. They look like they might have an eating disorder.
Dude,
I'm not a doctor.
She used to be on the Osbournes, and she used to look like crazy. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the same lady, right? That was the kid, right? Isn't this Ozzy's daughter, or am I thinking the wrong lady?
Kelly Osbourne, I think. I mean, I only saw the show once. Celebrities are all doing Ozempic to lose weight. And
the super obese vampire from Blade.
Why can't I think of the character's name? Yeah, they call him Biscuit Boy, but no.
Oh man.
Can't think of the. Yeah, it was the librarian.
Oh yeah, it's the Ozempic shit. That's right, Joe. Yeah, it's that Ozempic crisis.
Pearl,
and you can tell.
Pearl was the name of that character.
Yeah. There's like symptoms. If they're doing it with like they're not following the program, they're literally just hitting the Ozempic too hard. Like you have hair loss, and it's like you look unhealthily thin, but on top of that you also get Ozempic ass. Yeah. Like they call that it's what's called. It's where you have like no butt at all because you've lost the weight too fast that your butt sags. So like you get you have no ass whatsoever. I mean, we don't have any shots of that. We can't really show that, but like you could probably tell this is an Ozempic problem. Oh my god, the fact that she would pose for these are crazy.
And it's like, so there's people around you telling you that you look good and they should do this. It's like, oh man.
Well, they're saying it's like due to her dad's death. She took a bunch of fucking weight loss, but like, I mean, I don't know. She looks pretty healthy in some of these other pictures. Yeah, I mean, if it is stress-induced weight loss and it's not Ozempic, like I feel bad for her, and she needs to get herself back on the right track because that's scary. Something. Yeah, that's that's scary and healthy, man. That's oof.
Yeah, people need to just calm down, and I mean, if you got a disorder, I suppose it doesn't do any good to say that.
The torso zombie from Malwhip over here. What the hell?
Hey. All that body horror.
All right.
Because it hurts to be obese.
So, moving on. Coming from the gamer, this is another great topic that I wanted to bring up. Moving on here to...
Moving on.
PlayStation really just asked us what remakes we want days after shutting down Blue Point. So this was February 23rd, a little dated. Article by Josh Coulson at The Gamer, and quoted here, 5 years after acquiring the studio, news broke last week revealing PlayStation plans to shut down Blue Point Studio, famed for its remakes and remasters that hasn't released a single remake or remaster while under the PlayStation banner. That's despite PlayStation seeming wanting to remake some of its classics. Though, as days after Bluepoint news broke, they asked users which games they'd like to see remade next. Which is pretty freaking ironic. They haven't announced the closure yet, but Bluepoint is known for, and I believe if you go down here, they're known for Uncharted and Titanfall. Is that true? I could have sworn Uncharted was made by another studio. I thought that was Naughty Dog. But, I mean, this is a big quote here. Yeah, Sony is making a fucking huge mistake here. Just days after the baffling Bluepoint news broke, the official PlayStation Germany account shared a post. When translated to English reads, which PlayStation game would you like to see remade? Perhaps a new gold standard for the video game industry when it comes to someone's inability to read the room. Or maybe we're just not consumers anymore. We're just not important. We're the guys that, you throw a bone to when your investors, tell us that you can. I mean, fuck, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like a piece of meat anymore when it comes to, like, product or consumer grade anything. I feel like that's what they want me to feel, or how they want me to feel. It's fucking stupid. Dude, that was another thing I was going to look up for this topic was Bloodborne, and I guess they're sending cease and desist to creators who are trying to get that shit done.
Oh,
yeah.
Crap.
And then the direct thing for Bloodborne was From Software gave them the negatory. There was Bluepoint didn't want to do it either, I think. It's kind of like the Red Dead Redemption of the PS4 era. Is like there was a point in time when the gamer community wanted Red Dead Redemption on the PC. It took them almost 15 years or 12 years to get that shit going. But in between that time, they kept asking them, and they're like, nope, we don't want to touch it because the PlayStation 3 was so fucking hard to code for, and to get that ported over would be a nightmare. So they had, Rockstar had no interest at all in porting Red Dead Redemption over. And finally, it got ported over a couple years back. So, that's a game from 2010. So, I feel like you're going to get it. You're going to get it, but you probably won't get it anytime soon. So, and if that's saying anything for the game industry, I keep forgetting to change this thing. I should just take this sticker off. But if that goes with anything from the game industry, because when game industry promises new games, we're still waiting on the next Elder Scrolls game, and that was announced in 2017? Yeah, that's going to be a big thing. But if anyone enjoyed Pathetic Gothic Medieval, Lords of the Fallen 2 is coming. It looks delicious. I haven't checked that out yet. $20.95. That's true. I think Bethesda's in so much hot water right now, so I'm not even counting on them to release anything else. Fucking Starfield was a flop for them, big time. Let's see what else is next on our docket. Another studio, by the way, planning to get shut down. Midsummer Studios. Studio that's only been out for a couple of years, I think. Led by Jake Solomon. Game development company, and this is coming from GameDeveloper.com. Quotes, the game development company founded by Firaxis Games veteran Jake Solomon is shutting down its doors. Solomon shared news in a post on X where he shared pre-alpha footage of Burbank. Oh, you like Starfield? I played the Star Wars mod for Starfield, which made it a slight bit more interesting. Um, but yeah, I mean, the base version was okay. I liked the ship customizations, but I did not move. I did not beat it. You are a better man than I, Malwhip. I still have yet to beat that game. But he shared pre-alpha footage of Burbank, the studio's life sim game. He did not share any details on the reason for the closure. Quoting him, "We built a studio, we made a game, and I'm really proud of both. Before we close the doors at Midsummer Studios, I'd like to share a glimpse of Burbank, the game we poured our hearts into." He wrote, "It's like The Sims plus The Truman Show." But it's more than that. I believe people are storytellers, and I want them to share whatever stories and characters they can dream up. Burbank lets you do that. Games are games. Play and move on. Oh. Well, I like to replay. I like to replay some really good games. I just think that, like, I don't know, Starfield was one of those RPGs that I had a lot of hope for. So it was kind of let down. But I don't know, a lot of people really dug on it. So when I got back to playing it again, I think that's what got me. So I thought it was okay. It was just okay. That was like my thing on it. Like, so I might go back and play it again, but it was just one of those things where I felt like it could have been better. Solomon noted in a Fallout post, Burbank did use some AI for their voices and characters. I'm trying to see what they have more on the closure for. Closure concludes a 2-year run for Midsummer, which started operations in 2024 on the back of $6 million in fundraising by this investment company, Transcend Fund, in partnership with Turtle Ventures. Okay, here's the thing I wanted to get into right here. Solomon shared further parts on the state of investment in game studios in 2025, telling game developer that he disagreed with the notion that investors were to blame for the poor industry conditions. Venture capital model is built upon significant return on the VC investment. When a VC funds our studio, they don't have any expectation of sharing in revenue, they don't set milestones, and they don't dictate day-to-day operations. They even pay the entirety of the agreed upon funding up front. It's a great deal for developers. But any company funded by VC knows the deal. You are expected to not just make a great game, but a transformational one. VC investors can only make money through an exit event like an acquisition or IPO. Exit events for game studios are rare. So my question is, I understand big game studios need to have an investment company. They need to have something where the return gets big. Right now, returns have to be near to impossible to make that much money. And when you're a brand new game studio, by the way, he's experienced, but he's building a new studio. It's 2 years in the making, one game under their belt. To me, that's fucking embarrassing if you're already shutting down. But to him, it's the norm. It's another day in the office. Studios shutting down, people are losing their jobs, that's fine. I'm proud of that. I'll take a look at it now, Whip. It sounds to me like he is much of an investor himself. Did we lose Kurgan, by the way?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry, man, I got distracted.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, I don't particularly understand why you'd want to go with somebody who does venture cap, like a venture capital investment.
Yeah, it
Be-
doesn't seem like a good deal. I like the thumbnail on the side with the lady with her head in her hands. Makes me think of the Twitch, like we're disconnected. I mean, I know it's a stock image, but it's just like, yeah, pretty
I
much.
mean, you probably get a lot of money. You get to do what you want to do, but if the way he's talking is the way things would be, like games like Resident Evil, big game companies, Resident Evil wasn't a surefire hit 10 years ago. Like 6 was a kind of a flop, to be honest, and it's still they still got back up on their feet and made another good game. A lot of Resident Evil titles weren't great, but they just released one that's now fucking booming, and I bet you it's not a exit event, but it's a big fucking deal right now. And that's where I'm kind of getting at is like we can't expect every game that gets sold under an investor to be a record-breaking hit. And if that's what you're saying, then there should be no reason to have an investment company invest in video games. In fact, I don't even know why they look sideways at these things, because if that's the way they want to play, or if that's the way this guy thinks, you should turn your nose up at every investment company you see. And just start small for a good chunk of your life. Because I personally don't get it. I understand that it comes with a lot of money, and like I said, if that's the case, then whatever. But yeah, and yes, you do want a return on your investment. But big game companies, especially ambitious projects like what this guy was making, if that's all his studio is going to be for, then why? I don't know why you'd build a studio. Just rent everything and just fucking run it, and then have the fucking investors give you the money. But yeah, he wanted to do something big, but I don't. I think that his belief on that was kind of crap.
A bit crap.
Dude, just let you know, Malip, I loved the new Resident Evil. Requiem was great. I think it had a lot of fan service in it. That was probably my only issue. Was like, which I'm gonna get to next. I was gonna talk about Resident Evil, but I've got one more topic to talk about. But yeah, the new one was great. It was fucking great.
See, I never got into either series, but I guess it's been a long running genre.
I'm like reversed with him. I like Silent Hill,
Rival hero.
but I'm the Resident Evil guy. That's what got me into like. I was always like the guy who couldn't play scary games when I was younger. I was kind of a little wimp. But yeah.
Now you're all about it.
The gold edition. I don't know what DLC is going to be available for Requiem besides the shit they just came out with for the $15. But I mean, you let me know, because I'll probably upgrade. It's fun. I've got a lot of the extras already, and yeah, it's the new RE games have been pretty well done. RE4 was good. The new RE2 was great. I didn't buy the $15 stuff, but I mean, it was, it's whatever. The creators always fucking get the pre-order bonuses. It was just 2 extra costumes, that was it. That, and I think a weapon or 2. But yeah. If there's DLC for it or whatever that comes with the gold edition, then I'll grab it. But I haven't seen any roadmap or any announcements for it. But that doesn't mean there won't be. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, besides the fact that the thing that gets under my skin is Leon has been like the poster boy now for Resident Evil for like the last 10-ish years, and it's been kind of weird because here comes my hipster voice. Is I've liked Leon as a character since the original Resident Evil 4, and that's what encouraged me to play Resident Evil. I was late to the party, and I started playing the older ones after that. So I started playing the original Resident Evil, then RE2, then I played the GameCube games. But I very much enjoyed like the GameCube version of Resident Evil 4 when I was younger. So got me into those games. But I'm growing up now with everybody else around me, and it went from Chris and Jill being the poster children to Resident Evil to now Leon, and it's weird because I hate it when the people that used to be your underdog get all the attention, and it's really weird. Yeah, like what happened to Barry Burton? Give Barry Burton some love, you know? Revelations 2, I think, is Barry Burton's playable character. Or Rebecca Chambers in Zero. There's, even bring back Claire Redfield or something. Like, those used to be characters that got spotlight all the time. And, like, just in general. I'm on the Chris Redfield. Which Chris Redfield camp, though? Because they've tried to recreate him 3 times now. You have the OG Chris from like the RE1 and RE remake games from back in the day. You've got Boulder Punching Chris, and then you've got the revised older Chris from the new ones. The OG. You have the Christmas Redfield skin. I preferred Christmas Redfield. I want to know what that looks like. It's like Chris Redfield with like a Santa hat on. Oh, man. Yeah, dude. Boulder Punches for life, man. That game will also be another one of my favorites, was Resident Evil 5. Just for how unbelievably crazy that game was. How standoffishly unrealistic parts of that game were. And I mean, Resident Evil's never meant to be like realistic in any way, but like holy shit, I just remember the behind the scenes to that because I bought the special edition, like the collector's edition for that game on my birthday, and that was given to me as a gift. I was 17, I think, when that game came out, and I got the Tri-Cell bag and the Chris model, which broke in like a week because it was cheap. But
dang.
Yeah. And yeah, I played that all day. I guess we're getting into this topic now. We'll just get into this topic. But yeah, I remember buying that, and like it was fun. It was a really fun experience. The Boulder Punches were awesome. The co-op games. RE5, RE6, Raccoon City. Oh shit, man. I haven't played Operation Raccoon City in a long time. I think I have it downloaded for emulation because you can't get it anywhere else because it was not very popular. I played that game by myself. I got disappointed in that game because I bought it thinking it was couch co-op, and I was still big on couch co-op back then. So me and one of my best friends back in the day were like, let's play this. And I was like, okay. So I did. Oops. And then we bought it and found out it wasn't couch co-op. As soon as I get my Steam machine, I'll be a PC scumbag again. I like how that's how it's being referred to. But yeah, I took this little thumbnail as my background. It's like it's really crappy. I have been really lazy about my desktop backgrounds. So I was gonna blend these two, but I was like, nah. So I did some custom photos from my time playing Resident Evil 2 Remake and Requiem. And I'm not spoiling anybody, but you do go back in Requiem. So here are my 2 shots. And it's Leon going back to Raccoon City Police Department. And it was a wonderful revisit. But it was nice. Playing RE6. Where are you playing Raccoon City at? Are you doing the PS3 emulation? Or are you playing it on your PS3? I used to have that game on my PS3. That game was fun. I don't care what anybody says. The what if scenarios and the multiplayer were nice too. Like, you know, you had like the group going up against like Leon, like RE2 Leon and stuff. That was nice. Oh, okay. Got it. But yeah, this is supposed to be like a 30-year like photo time shot. I also use RE Framework for I use RE Framework with my PC stuff for these games. So even though I'm on Linux, mind you, because Linux with these games does have a limited I know for Requiem it does have a limited option for graphic settings. Like you play it on Ultra, but Requiem doesn't have the ray tracing settings that the current drivers for Windows and stuff have. It uses screen space reflections. RE Framework allows me to use path tracing and hybrid ray tracing options. So, and they get integrated into the game, and it looks really good. So, and that's what that picture on the bottom is it's what the game looks like with path tracing on, which is the game does not use path tracing. That's integrated with RE Framework. It's a mod, so it's really good. Getting games on PC once I get the Steam machine. Hey, maybe we can maybe do some games time, Malwhip. But yeah, I really enjoyed Requiem. It was nice. It was a decent title. I will definitely be coming back to it. I think I'll play through RE2 again, and then I'll do RE4, and then I'll probably play through the original remake games again. But right now I'm playing first person on RE2 remake. Game hardcore. You join Play Tracker, you add your Steam, Sony, Microsoft, GOG, combines your achievements. Oh my god. See, I like achievements, but I can't. I'm not an achievement whore. I can't do that. I mean, I'll try Play Tracker, but I'm not. I game a lot single player, man. That's half the reason I'm on Linux. I can't play a lot of multiplayer games. Well, nothing that's kernel level anyway. So, I'm free from Windows. You see, if I owned a house, it would be an iHouse because it has no Windows. And signed up for my transition to Valve hardware. Yes. Come. Bazite, baby. I'm so excited, Malwhip. I'm so yes. I'll be leaving Microslop soon. I love that, man. That's such a good title. Oh, you get me all riled up. Fucking Microslop. Once again, just to state to people right now. I don't own a goddamn Windows device in this house. No, besides those 2 computers right there, which aren't mine. Those are work computers. So, I do own Apple products, though. to me, Apple is like the lesser of the other evils at the moment. Once they do like global age verification and stuff like that, I'll have to figure out something. But maybe I'll just get an older Android phone and I'll put Linux on it or some shit. That'll be nasty. I can't do the Ubuntu phones. They're not supported. But it's really ropey. Well, and Android, I know Android's doing app verification now. Google's switching over to app verification because they're owned by Google. And like I said, if I had to pick between the two, I'd stay with Apple over Google. And that's I can't fucking do that. That's why I switched. But if I can find another just anything that's not the two main companies, I'll go to it. I'll learn it. I'm still young enough to pick it up. So that's gonna be me. But Apple's already had app verification forever, and I know how to jailbreak phones, so I'm okay. Dang. But like Google's been, weird. Well, yeah, but if you're thinking price, then that's fine. But I'm more thinking like, because the phones that I buy are like $1,200, no matter which way you're looking. Like this phone, I bought outright. This was like it was like $1,200 US. The OnePlus that I bought back in the day was $1,200 US, 1,100 something. It was a little cheaper, but like I wanted to go to one of those flip ones, but like I can't justify $1,600 for
flip?
It's one of those split phones. It turns into like a bigger.
Yeah. Oh. You're going old school for a second there. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Fold out phones.
Yeah, like the big fold out. Yeah, I want one, but it's like the new fad, and I've got one of these.
Yep.
I've got a tablet over here. I've got like a huge 11-inch tablet with a keyboard and mouse. I don't need a flip phone.
Yeah.
That's good. I'd be happy going down to a cheaper phone, but it doesn't affect my phone bill. And that's the next thing, is I'm going to go down to prepaid and stuff like that too. I'm not really like...
Yeah, now we're talking.
Because these are eSIMs, they'll work with prepaid. So whatever service that'll allow me to do a $30 SIM card, I'll go with it.
Reload it when you want it. No
I just don't want it to be slow, and I feel like if I do like a $200 phone, it's going to be slow as shit. And that's a convenience thing for me. Like, I can't fucking have my phone crash and stuff while I'm doing stuff on it. I run Proton stuff on that phone. I run all sorts of stuff on this, and like it needs to be active like all the time. So I even do emulation on the iPhone now. Like you can do that. So it's one of those things that you can do stuff with. Oh, hey, speaking of which, 1 second. Kurgan, keep him busy. Oh no, never mind. I've got it. This is my Steam Deck. This is my first generation Steam Deck, by the way. It's the secondary model. It's the come on, camera, kick in. This is the 256 gig. And I'm currently, if the battery's not dead, yep. I'm currently playing Ratchet and Clank on it.
Nice.
So,
that's all you need there.
Which is the best use of it. I'm playing PS2 games on it right now.
So,
and the battery is old.
The PSP, PS Vita.
And I still get like 3 hours of playtime on that thing. So it's I completely validate the Valve ecosystem. As long as they don't get super fucking scummy, the Steam frame, the Steam machine, everything. But like right now, they're having a hard time. So I hope you pre-ordered yours, because Steam Decks are out. Steam machines are to be dated, and so are the Steam frames, I think. I like how you keep referring to me as a PC scumbag. I'm going to start saying that from now on.
You PC scumbag.
You PC scum.
But
real quick, I'm going to vouch that we take another quick break. I have to use the restroom. And then we'll come back with our final topic, and then we'll leave it open for anybody else. But I really do have to use the restroom, so maybe take about 5-10 minute break, if that's okay.
Sure. Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll be right back. Don't go away, everybody. All right, and we're back. Let's go ahead and bring things back up here. Oh. All right. All right, and we're back. What would we say? Squeezing out some day. Oh. I like how it bleeped out. I think it bleeped out a previous message of yours, but it didn't bleep out jizz.
Oh, man. Comes spraying out at the most inopportune times. Sorry, folks. RantCast.
But yeah, I got to continue our current topic. I got Requiem. I usually don't go out and just buy $70 games right now. I don't. I'm really picky about my AAA titles, but I bought Requiem. It was a birthday present. My wife was like, "Here, you can buy that," and I know. I got permission. But, you know, when you're in a marriage, you work that stuff out. Money things. But $70 for, like, one title is... I don't care if you have a lot of money or no money. I feel like I'm not going to... I don't go on a spending spree for video games anymore, so... Thank you. But Resident Evil games are always kind of like a guilty pleasure, whether they're good or bad. The older Resident Evil games, like the campy, fun, crazy ones, like 4, 5, 6, I always enjoyed those when I was growing up in my teens. So I enjoy these ones too, and they're fun to play. And it was a good game. I like that it's mixing a lot of the stuff. Like, now you're not only getting a survival horror aspect, you get kind of like that Amnesia, Dark Descent feel, where you get a feeling of uselessness, and there's really no other choice but to run, or you have to get crafty with the monster. Like they did that a little bit in 7. And they incorporated a lot of what Resident Evil 2 Remake had when they did Village. So Capcom knows where their sweet spot is, I think. It's if they're going to continue milking this cow, how they're going to develop. Because they can only do this so much. So maybe mixing it's a nice element, but what I want to see is if because I know 6 is the wacky title. It's the one that makes the least amount of sense right now with how they're doing stuff, because you've got Wesker's son in there and you don't know where the fuck he came from or where his story goes now because they didn't continue with it. And I completed RE1 on a PSP Go whilst in an abandoned mansion in London. What were you doing in an abandoned mansion in London? That's pretty cool, though. And where was I going with this? Oh, so I would like to see what they do when they remake RE5, because a lot of people are saying that's going to be touchy ground because it was already kind of offensive to begin with. But at the end of the day, it's where you're at, I think. And really, they can kind of take certain liberties if they need to. But and then when they do Resident Evil 6, how they're going to do that, because there was like 4 or 5 characters that you had to work with. So I used to work as a security officer, a security guard at a mansion, preventing damage and squatters. I get that now. Cool. Well, kind of ending the topic there. It was a good game. I'd like to see where they go with that. And if they're going to remake the first Resident Evil, that'd be kind of good too. I would enjoy that. Resident Evil 0 and 1. They've got 4 games, I think, that they could work with. So, let's go ahead and move to our last topic. Kurgan, you still with me?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'm still here.
Whoa! Let's see if I can find the article, because I think this is one you'd like to touch on too.
Sure.
Let's see. So, my friend, because I know you weren't much into Resident Evil, there was one last topic I wanted to touch with. Our evil Dead Star has a, looks like he was diagnosed with a cancer diagnosis.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can find a good article here. A lot of these are just like tabloids, so we'll kind of go with, well, you know, these are all just Rolling Stone, I suppose. I don't really particularly like that, but they want me to enter my email too. You can get fucked. Let's go, and we'll go with this. So, as far as Rolling Stone goes, I mean, it's everywhere. You can look this up for yourself as well. Bruce Campbell, Evil Dead Star, was diagnosed. He had a cancer diagnosis earlier. This is relatively, this was today. He did not share the specific type of cancer. He states, good news is, I'm not going to go into any more detail. Posting this because professionally a few things will have to change, appearances and cons, and work in general will need to take a back seat to treatment. My plan is to get as well as I possibly can over the summer so I can tour with my new movie, Ernie and Emma, this fall. He continued, there's several cons this summer that I have to cancel, big regrets on my part, treatment needs and professional obligations don't always go hand in hand. That's about it. I'm not trying to enlist sympathy or advice. I just want to get ahead of this information in case false information gets out, which it will. Which, fair enough. And I've always liked Bruce Campbell's approach to things, like professionally, as he's gotten older. He realizes that the internet's a fucking dangerous place and that there are crazy-ass fans out there. I think he's lived long enough to realize this, so respect. And, you know, not that he needs my help or anybody else's help in that matter, and I think that's true. He respects people and knows that there are going to be people who are going to acknowledge this information and not want to go any farther with it, and that's exactly where I think it should go. I don't personally care what kind of cancer he has. I just think it's sad, and I hope he gets better. He's he's a talented man. For a lot of things that he's done, not just Evil Dead. So he concluded his post by saying love to his fans, sharing his attention. Fear not, I'm a tough son of a bitch, and I have great support, so I expect to be around a while. So, I mean, he did state somewhere else, I think in an interview, saying that he loved the fans and that he'll try to come back as soon as he can, but I really do appreciate when somebody doesn't try to milk like the fame, the fortune, or glamour. And especially with this, he's got cancer. So instead of like the tabloids picking it up first, he just came out and said, look, I've got it. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I've got it. And I'm getting treatment for it, and that's all you need to know. and I'm not telling anybody else. So, I'm not telling you what it is, and I'm not telling everybody else what it is. So,
Well, yeah, and I mean, he kind of has to because he makes a lot of his living these days. I mean, if he needs it, with the autographs and meeting the
well, yeah,
fans.
and like
So if he all
he's
of a sudden
older, and he
disappeared,
does movies still. She's in the middle. He's doing a new movie now. It's just he doesn't do
yeah,
big blockbuster hits anymore, and that's fine.
right.
I
Maybe he
mean,
doesn't have to, but
no,
yeah, it's like, but I mean, it's like if he just disappeared, people would wonder and people would speculate. So
yeah.
here he's just putting it out there, like, okay, this is why I'm not there.
Uh, well, like Bruce Campbell, his beard suits him, indeed. I also have Ash and Dead by Daylight, Evil Dead game. The Evil Dead game is delisted, but there's a site where you can get it off of like the delisted games off Steam. Um, I do need to go ahead and download that game so I can play it sometime. But well, I don't know if if that picture is a current picture, the one that I showed, but yeah, I mean, the guy is a tough son of a bitch. So I hope he does get better. Cancer treatments are a pain to get through. Um, like I said, he knows what he's doing. So, Godspeed. But yeah, with that, I want to appreciate our audience being with us tonight. Malwhip, everybody showing up tonight. It's
Bruce Campbell grew a beard. Jim Carrey inflated his head.
That's right. That's right.
We wish Jim Carrey a successful recovery as well, but
I
he's
mean,
a little more fitted to
I
himself. Yeah.
I appreciate the man for
Cancer
his
sucks.
his work. That's it.
Yep.
He has been through so much controversy between the mid to late 2000s, and like I liked Jim Carrey back in the day growing up, and I know that's a lot of 90s kids anymore. That's been a big thing too, the what they call it, the millennial nonsense, millennial core. And I guess I deserve that, but like,
I liked his earlier work in Living Color.
because
James Carrey.
we're now going through the cringe. We're going through our cringe arc, where I just don't. He was an inspiration to me growing up to be myself, to do certain things because of just how outspoken and crazy he was. But after that, like all the other crap he went through and like the statements he made, he had like this weird instance where, and he probably still like he made an outspoken thing about vaccines. He did a thing on, and like I said, he is a person against Hollywood, which is fine. But it does feel weird when you go out and you speak against the Hollywood elite, and then you get I don't know, multi-$1,000 million Botox. I mean, you got the ducats, so why not? But like
They replaced him
it's
with the
the
pot.
pot calling the kettle black, and it's really this is why I take that advice, and I don't build parasocial relationships anymore with I don't try to relate myself to anybody who makes several $1,000,000 a year, because like when you're in that state of mind, when you are making life-changing amounts of money, your mindset is a lot different than someone like us. Like even somebody in a creator space who's not making that much money, but is making a good amount of money, somebody even making six figures, a lot of the time I try to believe that like money isn't everything to us, but in some sense of the word, for a lot of people, it also defines how we live our lifestyles and how we decide how other people live their lifestyles, because we are so used to our habits, our way of life, how we live in our environment, that we sometimes don't think about how other people live their lives or live in their environment. So, a multi-million-dollar actor gets up in the morning and has a very different routine, still puts his pants on the same way that I do, probably. Still a human being, but probably has a, I don't know, fucking hour, 2 hour long routine, like, that I don't fucking follow at all. and a lot of product goes into that, and I will never understand or get that unless I'm in that same spot. So, like I said, just that, and there's probably many other changes, and understandings that I don't know. But that's what I'm saying is like trying to relate to that is weird, and that's why I'm saying like him trying to speak out, or it's great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. We need more of that. But like, once again, trying to stand up for the poor man and then get your multi-million-dollar Botox is a little awkward. But like I said, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life. I'm just going to tell you that it's awkward. It's just a little awkward.
Hello.
You did miss it. We did talk about that. I was not excited. But then I think I brought this up before, Malwhip, that I think this was before New Year's, and then after New Year's I made a comment stating that because I think you brought this up, and then my friend brought up the fact that the world's changing kind of, and like even though I tend to doom scroll a lot, so even though there might be negatives, there might be positives to big companies changing and doing stuff like that. So to be honest, I don't know. There's a lot of corporate buying, changing of hands. It might be oh no, that was the Netflix merger, isn't it? Didn't Netflix and Paramount do something? So.
Yeah, catch the beginning of the stream. All good. Well, we didn't cover
it on this stream. It was like the beginning of the year or something like that. Because there was like a Paramount. Netflix lost the bid. What the fuck?
Uh-oh.
So, oh shit. So Paramount did buy Warner Bros. So that means Paramount Plus is gonna have all that shit. I mean, either way, we have both services, but like, whoa. So Netflix is like gonna be absolutely useless. That would have been a win for Netflix, dude. Did they win by hostile takeover though? I'm just gonna tell you that right now because there was like talks about hostile takeover, and I think that was Paramount like trying to fucking do some unethical shit to get that WB bit. So I'm gonna tell you right now. I think they got that via hostile takeover. Yeah, that's some hardcore shit. See, and a lot of that and that's what's scary to me is a lot of that stuff is done right in front of our faces. It's oh man, unethical nonsense. Nobody ever closes the door when they fucking shoot somebody anymore. It's just out in the open. Scary movie? Oh my god. No. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they bring that? Aren't the Wayne's Bros like fucking old?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta see this, and then we're probably gonna end our episode tonight. Hold on. Okay, I'm checking it out. I'm gonna tell you, I don't have a lot of hope for this Malwhip. I don't.
No. They had their day. They had their heyday.
Scary
just like
movie.
Jim.
He says it looks good, so hold on. I trust him. We're probably going to claim, just let you know. Hold on, let me mute this. I gotta mute it. Sorry.
Visual jungle. Audio jungle.
I got the subtitles. Oh my god. No, dog.
Yeah, the scary movies were pretty
I
bad.
can't dog
the first
it.
one, the first one, but they were known for.
Sorry, I don't mean to. I'm not trying to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No.
Because I'm stuck into this trailer. What? What the fuck? Oh no. Like this stuff was known. It was known for this stuff. Like this raunchy comedy. Nobody ever does this shit no more. So like to bring a lot of this stuff back is like crazy. Oh my god. Did you see testicles in the trailer? Oh my god, dog. And the thing is I don't think I'll be able to see that in the theaters. I don't know if I'll have like the bro. Look, I have missed comedy like that for a long time, so I might just be in it. So who knows?
Put on your trench coat. Put on your sunglasses. Put on your fedora.
Yeah.
Go into the back row. Got your popcorn bucket. No, nobody has to know.
Oh, shut up, man. It's good stuff. Like me and you have talked about this. How about the raunchy comedy line ending?
Yeah.
So like to bring back cheesy, even if it's like really cheesy, like bad cheesy, it still might be fun to watch. And like that's definitely a popcorn movie. That might bring people back to the theater for a little bit. Like that's a good risk. So yeah, dude. Did you see The Naked Gun, by the way? The one with Liam Neeson. Okay.
I completely forgot about it.
So
did you see it?
No, but I'm going to, because the story is it's not a remake; it's a sequel.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be his son.
Yeah.
So Liam Neeson is playing his own character, which to me, that opens the door a little bit for me, as opposed to it being a remake.
Repossessed. Oh yeah.
So.
I remember Hot Shots and Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh man, fucking Charlie Sheen out of his fucking gourd.
Yep.
O.J. Simpson is referenced, yeah. Like I said, I saw a little bit.
Yeah, the trailer had that. They're all like praying by their father's picture, and then the guy that's got like O.J. Simpson, he's like, no, not doing it.
But yeah, I saw a little bit of like the trailer, and then there's a review on it and stuff. So it looked good, and it looked like they did stuff with it. But yeah, so I might.
Yeah, I just want one that's funny. Like, is that too much to ask? If it's just stupid. Of course, sometimes
you walk into it, man, and you're gonna I don't know. I feel like as you get older, you hold a high regard to a lot of this stuff, and
yeah, it's nostalgic.
Yeah,
it captures a moment for you.
So, like, as long as they don't try too hard, it should be at least okay. It should be okay to watch. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, as long as it's not like fucking off the wall bad, we should be all right.
Yeah. But yeah, he just listed some of the big spoofs. I'd say out of those, Naked Gun was the funniest for me. But maybe just because of the age I was when it came out. I remember the first Scary Movie. Thought, yeah, it got you. But all the other scary movies, it's like I I waited years to watch them, and I'm like, oh man.
Like Joe, like there can be only one Highlander. Like they're rebooting Highlander.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Highlander, yeah, has had so much bad. How could there ever be good after so much bad?
We're 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 running out of ideas.
Yeah. Even if it's Henry Cavill as going to the McLeod, of the Clan McLeod.
Um, if you're watching or if you're listening on Spotify, by the way, we did show a couple things for YouTube creators, and that trailer for Scary Movie 6, you can find that on YouTube, by the way. Unfortunately, yeah. I don't think I've ever fully watched Highlander. I got the spoof or the line, but I have
First
seen
Highlander,
a couple of them. But
it's not a great movie, but it's a cult movie, and I think I saw it when I was just the right age to appreciate it, and there was no turning back after that. The series, I've said it before, it's worth checking out, but it's kind of hit or miss. Some of it's pretty formulaic, some of it's not worth bothering with. The other movies, no, they tried, but they failed.
sorry, not sorry. What was okay? This is what because I don't think I ever watched enough of that to care. I will maybe give it a try now, but I was around that time. I was more into what was that show with Bruce Campbell? It was the Western show. I keep forgetting.
Like westerns, yeah. What was that?
I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank.
First
The
one is the
Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
Briscoe County Jr. Yeah. So Joe,
I was watching that a lot.
At first I didn't want to get into the series, Highlander the series, but I gave it a chance, and actually the first two seasons are pretty decent. I mean, yes, you could say it's a TV budget and all that, but really
Yeah.
it's all just a big excuse to have some historical flashbacks and then some guys fighting with swords in the city, like in modern day. Like that's what it is. The rest of the stuff, yeah, if you follow it long enough, it's like, okay, wait a minute, how does this make any sense? It doesn't. But week to week, you just have a good time. But yes, like the last couple seasons were pretty out there. They tried some new things, didn't work. Some of the sequels were pretty terrible. Spin-off series was nothing special. Had one good episode. One good episode. Yeah. But yeah, the Highlander more was interesting to me of just imagining the mythology of it. Like, okay, what if people did live forever, but they had to live in fear and then they just had to fight with swords? And it's like, okay, you imagine, like what it would be like and what you get to see and what the character would be like and so on. But sometimes they waste it, they squander it. It's like, okay, you have all this time and that's what you're doing? Really? Yeah. Yes, there was a Highlander cartoon. I never saw it, but yeah, since it's a pretty R-rated concept. I mean, hacking people's heads off to stay alive, so it's kind of hard to do a cartoon about that in the 90s. So it had a totally different plot. I don't think it had much to do with anything else in the Highlander name. I never saw it. They made a video game of it, which got ripped into, and there was a more recent animation of it, like an anime style story, and it was kind of interesting, but I don't know, not that memorable to me. It was kind of a mixture of like futuristic stuff and historical stuff, which I guess is a very anime thing to do at the time. I don't know. Highlander's a mixed bag. It's a cool concept, and it just hasn't been handled very well. Like every time a movie comes out, it's like there's always some problem. Like the special effects aren't done, or they deleted too many scenes, and so the plot doesn't make any sense, or there's just weird stuff has happened. And so then they always release a director's cut, and it's a little bit better, but it's still kind of like, oh man, why didn't they do that at the start? They wasted all this time and money. Yeah. New He-Man film, video game on the way too.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we talked about that. We covered that. We'll just have to see, won't we?
You're too old for this shit, He-Man.
Until we meet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Yep. Won the ultimate prize. End of story.
Well, I feel we are probably good tonight. We're reaching time.
Yep.
Lido, wait, where is Lido? What's Lido doing? He's not going to be in any of those, is he? Ugh. I don't need him morbing all over my favorite cartoons, okay?
It's not Morbin time anymore.
Oh, fuck. For real? How does he still get roles anymore?
They're too afraid to turn him down.
Like, okay, he was good in some. There's some films he was pretty good at. Like in Blade Runner, he was all right. He did okay. Like, but holy shit, dude! It's like he tries to reinvent the wheel way too often. That's my problem. Like the other stuff, like the speculatory shit and all the other stuff, like whatever. But yeah, he's a curse. I don't understand. Like there have been actors and actresses that have been blacklisted for less, and like he is just a walking. Like he's no longer the talent show that he used to be back in the day. Yeah, he was in Blade Runner. He was in Blade Runner 2049. He was like the rich douchebag that sat in the chair or whatever. Can't remember his name. But it was the mumble rap Joker. Oh. He was he was the man who was, oh, I'm morbing. Or
Yeah.
or he played the I'm damaged. He was damaged.
Yeah. He's emo Joker.
Yeah, damaged.
Too much damage here, man.
What was the really bad tagline? It's like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. Oh, man.
Jack Nicholson did it so much better.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't let me finish my sentence.
Mumble rap skeleton next. Yeah, with damaged written across the skull.
His skull has piercings.
It's Morbin time, He-Man. Ah! Fuck me, man. Well, okay. All right, I think I'm gonna call it tonight. I might want to play some. I'm gonna play some Resident Evil. I think. Do some shader testing.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you guys. This has been a great turnout. 6 people is great. See, I'm not hard to impress. So this has been a wonderful night. I want to thank everybody who's shown up.
Thanks, guys.
So Chell, Jacer, Joe, Malwhip, Watercon. You guys are awesome.
Anybody else who's
by? yeah, anybody else just swung by or showing up on the archive
Oh,
or
Miss
Spotify,
Yep. Yep.
want to thank you too.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys very much. I don't usually say, I've probably said it before, but I don't usually say, like, I love you guys, because personally, I don't know you on a personal level. I probably won't say that, so don't take it personally. But I appreciate you guys a lot because you are awesome for taking some time to chill out with us and just hear us out or be part of the community. So stay tuned in our Discord. I'm going to try to keep that a little bit more active.
Thanks for being a part of it.
I love you all violently. But just to know, if you guys still want, I don't know if Kurgan still has any extra RantCast podcast t-shirts, but feel free to
one or two
to let us know if you want one, or if you would like one by request. Please send us a message. We would be happy to go out of our way to send you guys one.
Pretty all right for a PC scumbag.
Why, thank you. I might go ahead and do some streaming.
How many X's is that?
I can stitch some of my RantCast shirts together.
Give you a RantCast quilt that you can wear.
That's right.
A bed sheet. It's like those t-shirt bed sheets, if you've ever had those. That might actually work. Thinking about it. Pearl. Actually, it's a video game.
I don't care what the fuck anybody says. The moves they're not great looking, but they're probably comfortable. And I care more about comfortability at my age than I do about style. Like, you'll see me dressed up here every now and then, but, like, if I'm at home...
Your old man flip-flops.
Wear flip-flops, and I'm in pajama pants or sweats.
Open shirt, Finger I've used to type this message is too fat.
But...
well, there it is.
But yeah, anyway, I will go ahead and start playing this out before Kurgan gets too tired. Oh God. Anyway.
There you go.
Appreciate
Thermal
you guys.
Shirt. Yep. Appreciate y'all.
And with that, I'm going to close out the RantCast podcast tonight. Once again, I'm your host, Josh, also known as TheStrangeBus. And you might catch me tonight at twitch.tv/TheStrangeBus. I am joined by my other host here and great friend, Kurgan, also known as HeroQuest Fans. And you can catch him at twitch.tv/HeroQuest Fans. That's twitch.tv/HeroQuest Fans. Also, XSC3, home of HeroQuest Fans on YouTube. You can catch us on the archive at TheRantCastPodcast archive and on Spotify currently.
Spotify, that's right.
Have a good night, everybody. We hope to see you next Tuesday. Just let you know for our future schedule right now, Kurgan is going to be live this coming Friday, and then we'll be out for the next 2 Fridays. And if you want to see some Resident Evil, I might be up for streaming that tonight. But we'll see. So, have a good night, everybody. I'll let everybody know in the Discord if I'm going live or not. And once again, see you guys next Tuesday. Good night.
See you next Tuesday.
See what I did there?
Got him.